I've been noticing the rainbow wall art decor pretty much all over the place. I did a larger wall art where I did something similar, but I wanted to do it on a little bit smaller scale with items from the Dollar Tree. I picked up foam board and I also picked up 3 things of Dollar Tree spackling. They sell this in kind of like their tools section at Dollar Tree. I'm also going to be using a trowel. If you don't have one on hand, you can grab them at like Lowe's or Home Depot. I first started by finding the center point in my foam board and making a mark for that. Next, to create a rainbow, I had to figure out the center point to where my top portion was going to start forming. So I measured up where I wanted that to take place and I put a mark in the middle. Then I needed to create that half circle top of the rainbow. So I just tied a string onto a pin and then I used another pin that would reach out to the edge. And then I just kind of did a windshield wiper motion to create that top portion. I cut this out with regular scissors. You could also use an X-Acto knife, but I feel like I never have an X-Acto knife on hand. Does anybody else feel that way? I just went in with my scissors and cut it out. So next up is the fun part. I'm gonna start adding the spackling on. Now you don't wanna use your trowel here. You just want to use any kind of scraper. You could use just a plastic one that you had on hand. Dollar Tree sells these as well. You wanna get the spackling just as even as possible on your entire piece. And then I'm also gonna make sure I have some spackling on the edges. Now this next part may seem intimidating, but it was actually really easy to do. So I'm gonna put my trowel where I want it to start. And I'm gonna make sure that I don't go any farther than that center portion where I was going to start my trowel. I'm just going to push down and draw a straight line up to the top. Once I get to my curve section, I'm just going to curve around and then I'll continue down until I get completely off my board. That's it. That's all there is to this. Now you're probably gonna have to let it dry overnight. That's what I did. Now from here, you could leave it as is, which is what I did, or you could paint it. It's totally personal preference. Here's how this rainbow spackling wall art turned out. It would also probably be cool if maybe you just painted the top portion of it, but either way, I wanted to leave mine really neutral because that's what I've been seeing in high-end decor. I did to find these little terrariums. They look like light bulbs. I really couldn't figure them out, but I knew I had to get 3 of them. Now I wasn't a fan of the gold piece at the top, so I decided I was gonna wrap that with some nautical rope. And don't worry, all the supplies I'm using I'll link for you down in the description box, plus what I'm wearing. So I started at the base, wrapping around the nautical rope and hot gluing it in place. When I got to the top, I just cut it off and then continued to wrap it around. I did this for all 3 of my terrariums. Next, I decided to add some white rocks to the base of these. And then I also at Dollar Tree picked up some succulents. This is a great time of year to start buying them because this is when they put them out. And by spring, I feel like all of their succulents are gone. So I'm just gonna pull them out of their bases and put them into the rocks. Now to hang these, I'm gonna use some thinner twine that I had. And I'll just hang them at various levels, and here's how these terrariums turned out. Hey guys, I'm Liz and you're watching my second DIY channel where I post daily DIY videos. You may be familiar with my main channel, Liz Fenwick DIY, but I'm glad that you found me over here on my second channel. Make sure that you're subscribed so you just get notified every day when I post our daily DIY video.